Today we're going to the Chapel of the Holy Cross. It's in the Red Rocks in Sedona, Arizona. Chapel was inspired by the sculptor Gregory Stroud. In 1932, she attempted to build the chapel. She wasn't able to because of World War II. Construction of the chapel started in 1954, completed in 1956. Let's go check it out.
Okay guys, we're walking on our way up to Chapel of the Holy Cross.
I already see it.
Yes, so there was a couple of different parking options. You can park down the hill, or there is a couple of different parking lots as you go up the hill. And there's also handicap parking as you come up ahead here as well. I didn't notice that there were any public restrooms, only down at the bottom as we came up the hill.
Check out the menu box, guys. Check out this house, guys, on our way up here. Let's go.
Let's go check out the gift shop, she said.
Check out all the amazing stuff, your friends.
Let's show them what they offer at the gift shop.
What are these? What are these?
Let's take a look. These are Chapel of the Holy Cross little markers, and it says, "Peace to all who come, Sedona, Arizona." Chapel of the Holy Cross. How the chapel came into being. Remember? And it says Marguerite Brunswick Stroud. Let's see here. In order to relate the story of this church, we must turn back the pages of time. 25 years have gone to engender this moment. The first conception came to me in 1932. I was in New York watching the newly completed Empire State Building. When viewed from a certain angle, a cross seemed to impose itself through the very core of the structure. What an idea for a church! For days it haunted and obsessed me, insisted on taking shape. Being a sculptor, I visualized a model in sculptured terms. Using simple, bold strokes, a sketch was made. The result being a cruciform church in plan and elevation, and was not the natural and logical expression of the sign upon which every Catholic church is built. Unfortunately, the leitmotif is lost in construction, so much so that a cross has to reassert itself on spires. This particularly apparent in the light of St. Patrick's Cathedral, which has exhausted itself in copying the Gothic instead of bravely pioneering, giving an expression of the day in contemporary language, as it did its lady neighbor, the Rockefeller Center. All the more reason to start the ball rolling. My sketch was seen by Lloyd, Wright, who was struck by the idea. Together we interpreted in terms of modern skyscraper cathedral to a 500-foot scale. He built the first architectural model with the articulated cross, the whole structure lined in glass and perforated stone screen. This was to encircle one square city block. In 1937, this plan was accepted and to be built in Budapest on the hills overlooking the Danube. The war soon put a stop to this dream. Having lain dormant for years, the urge of making this church a reality again started to ferment, and when seeing what Assisi's and events have meant in liturgical church movement. Sorry for my reading, but I'm doing my best. Should not we in America also have a national shrine where God can be worshipped as contemporary? And would this not bring him closer to each and every one of us? Having a ranch in Arizona in Oak Creek Canyon, an abundance of spectacular sights presented themselves and seemed to be calling for the existence of a shrine. Together with the architects Anshin and Ellen, we protected the country, deciding on a twin pinnacled spur about 250 feet high, jutting out of a 1,000-foot rock wall, solid as the rock of Peter. This was to be the pedestal wherein to plant our cross. However, being government property, it took particularly an act of Congress to receive a deed and building permit. Thanks to Senator Goldwater's recommendation, the church could proceed. Plans were started in 1953, completed in 1954. Having been approved by Bishop S. Balaj, the building was handed to the William Simpson Construction Company, who broke ground April 1955, and the structure was completed in 1956. The chapel was built as a memory to my father and mother, Lucien and Marguerite Brunswick. The accomplishment of this dream was made possible when the sculptor and architects met on common ground. The sculptor then became the donor and passed on her version to the architects, who sublimated it in terms of transcendental form. It is now a monolith of the Christian connotation of the one cross, organic to the structure. When we consider that just as soul inhabits a human frame and the house is built to shelter that frame, it is the mission of the church to shelter and inspire both soul and body. It therefore should not only be a monument to faith, but a spiritual fortress so charged with God that it spurs man's spirit Godward. Throughout the ages, the church has not only been a patron sponsoring the arts, but has used architecture, sculpture, and painting to illustrate her teachings, thus providing that the truth is beauty through her prayers in color and stone. In like manner, she uses the Gregorian chant to lay open the ways of the heart and soul of man, allowing her liturgy to flow through the very channels of his being. Having prepared the ground, her seed has taken root, grown, and invaded the world. May this chapel spread some truths and thousandfold, finding Christ through art. As an artist, this is my offering. Ad Magorum Dei Gloria, in answer to the one who, in order to save us, stretched out his arms on the cross. Through Catholic in faith as a work of art, the chapel has a universal appeal. Its doors will ever be open to one and all, regardless of creed, that the church may come to life in the souls of men and living reality. Herein lies the whole message of this chapel. Marguerite Brunswick Stroud. There's a lot of beautiful little additions that are around the church. And the insignia is kind of laid out in a lot of different places, and it's kind of cool. Here's another little area with sculptures, and it says, "And he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all ways." It's a pretty little angelic It says this garden is planted in memory of Fred Kukos, who lovingly supervised the construction of this chapel. This is the incredible view from the front. And that's where the chapel is built, inside the red rock, just like we heard in the story of Marguerite Brunswick Stroud.
Okay, guys, I hope you like our adventure. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more videos. Bye!